What is far deadlier than most people realize? Serious? Real black licorice root extract contains the natural sweetener glycyrrhizin, which is over 50 times sweeter than sucrose. This ingredient has various pharmaceutical properties. It acts as an expectorant, facilitating removal of mucus from the lungs by coughing, and it increases blood pressure. The latter effect can become significant with a daily consumption of 50 grams or more of licorice candy for as little as 2 weeks. Glycyrrhizin can cause potassium levels in the body to fall, triggering abnormal heart rhythms, as well as high blood pressure, edema, swelling, lethargy, and congestive heart failure in some people. I worked a 12-hour shift work job for a year that rotated between days and nights. I call it a blackout year because it's a giant year-long hole in my memory. All I did was eat, sleep and work. Struggled with indigestion regularly, completely awful way to live. Eloping is a very serious thing in the autism world. They run away, they either drown, get run over by a vehicle or a locomotive, or get killed and kidnapped. It's just horrible. The highway and the flu, for sure. Things don't have to be dramatic or uncommon to be dangerous. And sugar is as hard of a drug as cocaine and does a number on your microbiome. Heart disease happens, y'all. Human bites are one of the most deadly in the world. There was a story of a teacher who was caring for kindergarteners and one bit her arm out of anger. It barely broke the skin and she just put a band-aid on it and forgot about until the morning. When she woke up, her arm was burning. She looked at it and saw it was purple, so she went to the ER where she spent 3 days on a couple of strong antibiotics so they didn't have to amputate her arm. Tylenol, it's in almost every OTC cold medicine, labeled as acetaminophen, and it's easy to overdose if you're not paying attention to what you're taking and when, wrecking your liver forever. Obsessions in relationships. Sugar. Hydraulic injection injuries. A tiny pinprick size injury can easily lead to losing a limb or even death. Removed. Birthdays, you are 8% more likely to die on your birthday than on any other day of the year. Tylenol. Every year, flying champagne corks kill more people than sharks or poisonous spiders. Leaving potatoes for too long produces solanine gas that can kill. Texting while driving. A crash will send your knees straight into your rib cage. Friend of mine died last year falling off a small stepladder while painting a ceiling, frowning face. Tylenol. It's actually a lot easier to overdose on than most people realize, and it slowly destroys your liver over a period of days. Not a fun way to die, to put it lightly. Being tall. Harder on your circulatory system. Greater chance for cancer. Driving cars. You never truly understand the danger you pose in a moving machine like that until you start learning to drive one. This is the only one I've been shocked by so far. Or people that shoot at their own family member or kids who have snuck out thinking they are intruders. Rivers. Shift work. The disturbance in your circadian rhythm takes years off your life. Machines. If you get casual around them, they will eat you. Being fat. Seriously. I've seen more fat people die than skinny. Fights. People are way too eager to prove who's the bigger badass. Hit someone the wrong way or start something with the wrong person and someone's not going home. Then if the police show up, someone's getting charged. Depending on the severity of the other party's injuries and the word of witnesses, you could be going away for a very long time. Not to mention the civil suits that may bury you in debt. Emotional pain and heartbreak, due to anything. It can literally remove life from you, inside out. It hollows out your chest, drains all the willpower and leaves you as a husk of teary eyes. Be kind to those who are in pain, and to yourself, black heart. Stupidity. Rabies, hear a lot of jokes about that. Botox, it's made from a neurotoxin called botulinum, one of the world's deadliest toxins. Leftover rice. A really easy way to get food poisoning. Lack of exercise. When I was in school to become a medical office manager, I took a class. I think it was about first aid and the history of medical care, something along those lines. Anyway, somehow we got on the topic of medication-induced suicide. The professor mentioned people often try Benadryl first thinking it would work, but it doesn't, but it can cause horrific hallucinations and other really scary side effects. He then mentioned that acetaminophen would do it, but it takes large doses and it doesn't always happen right away. He kept reminding us he's not recommending it, is not encouraging it, and he's just simply being informative. But yeah, it doesn't even happen right away. Imagine the pain of the liver slowly dying before everything else shuts down. Aspirin will kill you while you are laughing about it only being aspirin. I used to have a BMI of 17.5, not even anorexic, till my early 20s, and I can confidently say that it has fucked me over big time. I'm a guy with a narrow build, I'm significantly smaller than both my mum and my dad, and I still have a toxic relationship with food. Eating is almost never an enjoyable experience for me. It's just a thing I do so I don't waste away. Can't imagine how much anorexia must suck as a mental illness. Mosquitoes. They kill more people than sharks and give children malaria. They're devils in the form of an insect. Recently realized the concept of attrition. Every single action you do, every day, might change your body by a minuscule amount, but over time, this adds up. It might be just another beer, another dessert. Over time you are going to become fat and prone to the diseases that comes along with it, or maybe, just one day without proper skin care, over time you are going to notice aging. Same could be seen positively. Working out will over time lead to fitness, cutting down on negative influences will over time increase general well-being. Small choices and action taken every day, over the course of time, will result in major changes. Abscessed teeth can kill you. Choking during sex. There are right and wrong way to do it, and people definitely don't realize they're doing it the wrong way. Sitting for long lengths of time. Attempting to cross the Mediterranean in an unseaworthy boat. Being alone in the wilderness. Mental abuse at any age. It doesn't matter if you think it's a joke or if others are doing it too. You have no idea what people are going through, and that one comment could be what pushes them over the edge. Even more so if it's a comment on something they are insecure about, or if you're not the only one saying it, or if it's repetitive. My husband's cousin just died of alcoholism. He passed in a grisly way, with lots of attempted interventions, but he couldn't be saved. And yup, he was in his mid-40s. Electricity and alcohol. In the last decade, alcoholism rates of women have closed a huge portion of the gap with men's alcoholism rates. Obviously some of that is due to increased reporting of that middle-class mommy needs her wine-type substance problem, but it's really disturbing how hard this rose all day have a bottle before dinner cultural narrative has been pushed around heavy wine drinking being tasteful and fun. The way we view substance abuse and class definitely factors in. Middle-class alcoholism lets some real problems fester. It doesn't need to be liquid, just oxygen gas at like 20 pounds per square inch will do it. That's how oxyacetylene torches cut steel, by heating it and then shooting a stream of oxygen through it that burns the steel. Edit, another deadly fact about oxygen. Too much oxygen is actually toxic and can cause seizures. Breathing pure oxygen at sea level is fine, but increase the pressure by 1.6 times and it can cause oxygen toxicity. Which is a major factor when it comes to calculating gas mixtures for technical or commercial diving, because if there's too much oxygen in the mixture, oxygen toxicity isn't deadly in and of itself, but having a seizure while scuba diving can cause you to spit out your regulator among other things. Edit 2, actually I was mistaken, oxygen toxicity can kill you in and of itself. Heroin. Yes, we all know it's deadly, but until you've lost some friends/loved ones you don't really understand. A friend of mine from school always had horses, and was a truly excellent rider. She lived her life around horses, rode competitively, the whole deal. 1 year out of school, we heard she died, got kicked in the chest, I believe attempting to get a nervous horse out of the float. So absolutely sad and definitely reinforced for me how much care to take. I'm also reminded of a relief teacher we had missing a finger, apparently bitten by a horse when she was younger.
With